It's Reading with Joan. We have some books to read for you today. Sometimes our books can just be stories, and other times our books can be non-fictions. That means real life stories about things that have happened to us. We've read books about Black and British, Windrush. Join us every time while we read. You will have fun. Please like, share, and comment on our channel. Spread the word. We love reading to keep on Reading with Joan. Our website, you can join us on an adventure of reading free books. You can join us on an adventure of learning more about our culture. You can join us on the adventure of having a special read hub around the globe. You join them together and you have a reading and a fun time session. Visit our website today, subscribe to us, join our membership creative club. See you as we have fun on today's episode of Reading with Joan.
The place for all the fun. Have a great time. Come join us.
Hi kids, I'm having so much fun reading from those story tales from the Caribbean. And today we have another lovely story for you. The title of today's story is Why Cats Chases Rat. This story is based on a folktale from Antigua. Once, very long ago, cat and rat were the best of friends, so it may seem. They lived together in the same house. Cat had allowed rat to live with him when rat's house had been flooded. Even when rat's house had been restored, rat never went back home. Cat would have done anything for rat, but the truth was rat didn't care so much for cat. In front of cat, rat was always a perfect gentleman, kind and thoughtful, but cat's back, rat was always saying horrible things. Do you know there are people like that? That he smelled bad, that he talked too much, and how foolish he was. Cat didn't know this. He thought rat was his best friend. All that changed the day cat's father died. Now cat was very upset because he had loved his father very much. Rat pretended he was sad too, but he didn't care at all. He fussed over cat, pretending he was trying to make his friend feel better. But behind his back, he just rolled his eyes, shook his head, and muttered under his breath about how he was a waste of time crying over the dead. Rat was a heartless rodent. It's such a sad thing that your father had died, Rat said to cat. I think you should have a big party to celebrate his life. I am too sad to think about that, Rat said. Don't you worry a thing, Rat said shyly. I will plan and wake you up. It was a custom to have a wake when someone dies. There would be a church service. People would say good things about them. After the church service, all the animals would go back to their house to show their respect to the family, and they would eat and drink and dance. The animals would party all day and often all night. It was the way things were done. Now, felt grateful to have such a wonderful friend to help him plan his father's wake, and he thanked Rat for being so kind. No problem, said Rat, who was already thinking of a way to get something out for himself. We will make a big pot of rice for the guests, and we will eat at your house after the church service. I will play the fiddle, my tambourine, and my triangle at the church service. Don't worry yourself. Just leave it to me. Cat was glad. He didn't have to think so much about the funeral festivities, and thanked Rat again for being such a good friend. On the day of the wake, Rat asked Cat to buy a big bag of rice. They put the rice in boiling water to cook on the stove, and when it was ready, they put on fine suits and set out to the church for the service. At the church door, Cat greeted all the animals that have come to pay their respect to their grandfather, and Rat watched on. Then suddenly, pretending he had just remembered something, the rat let out a shriek. Oh mine, he said. I've forgotten to bring my triangle to play the music at the end of a church service. I'll have to go back home and get it. And with that, Rat rushed up, leaving Cat at the service with the rest of the guests. Once home, Rat immediately went to the big pot of rice, ate a little. It was delicious. Rat then went to the place where he kept the triangle, picked it up, and went back to the church. When the rat arrived at the church, Frog was saying some nice thing about Kat's grandfather and at the front of the church for everybody to hear. Got it, Rat said quietly. He sat down next to Kat. But before Kat could say something, Rat let out another shriek. Oh no, oh mine, he said. I've forgotten to bring the tambourine to play the music at the end of the service. I will just go back and get it. At once, Rat rushed off, leaving Kat at the church with the rest of the guests. Once more, Rat immediately went to the pot of rice and he ate a little more. It's so tasty. Rat then went to the place where he kept the tambourine, picked it up and went back to the church. When the rat arrived at the church, Mrs. Turtle was giving some nice words about Kat's grandfather at the front of the church for everyone to hear. Got it, Rat said quietly, and he sat beside the cat. Cat whispered that many people had said some kind words about his grandfather while he had been away. But before Cat could finish speaking, Rat let out another shriek. Oh mine! Oh mine! He said. I've forgotten to bring the fiddle to play the music at the end of the service. I will just go back and get it. And the rat rushed off again, leaving Cat at the church with the rest of the guests. At home, Rat jumped into the pot to eat the remainder of the rice. Meanwhile, back in the church, Cat was beginning to think of his friend Rat was acting strangely. He decided to walk ahead of others to check to see what Rat was up to. When Cat arrived at the house, he called out and there was no reply. Cat saw the fiddle at the cupboard where it was kept and started to worry what could have happened. He called out again, Rat, Rat, where are you still? Where are you still? There was no reply. Then Cat heard a strange creep, creep sound and it was coming from the pot. Creep, 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 creep. Please, can you say creep, 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 creep? When Cat looked inside the pot, he saw all the rice had gone, and greedy Rat, having eaten all the rice, had started to eat the pot too. When he saw that crippling away the empty pot, "You snake!" shouted the cat. "You were coming back here all the time so you could eat the rice. I'll kill you." And the rat reached out to chase the cat. Don't kill me, I beg you, don't kill me, pleaded the rat. Now Cat felt sorry for the rat. After all, they had been friends for a long time, so he decided he wouldn't kill him after all. All right, I promise not to kill you. But the cat was still angry with the rat and he wanted to pay him back. "You had better run though," said the cat, "because if I catch you, your life wouldn't be worth living." And with that, Cat began to chase Rat all over the house. Wherever Rat ran, the cat was hot on his tail. There was no hiding place. Even when Rat ran out of the house, Rat ran into the smallest hole. And when Cat could not fit in after him, he would simply wait patiently until the rat came out. Rat thought he could outrun Cat, but although he was faster and indeed more nibbling, Cat never stopped chasing him. Eventually, Rat grew tired of running and in fact was exhausted. Unable to run further, he rolled over, feet in the air, and died. And the cat kept his promise. He hadn't killed Rat. And that is why to this day, you will always see Cat chasing Rat around and round. And for the cat's grandfather's wake, everyone felt sorry for Cat after seeing how Rat had eaten all the rice. And each of the guests decided to go home and pick up some food to take to Cat's house. And so there was plenty to eat at the wake, and greedy Rat missed out of the feast. You know, kids, I've always wondered why cats run after the rat. I've always wondered, why is the cat always running after the rat? Now I know it was because the rat was a greedy, selfish fellow that always talks at the back, badmouths the cat. Are you a kid that loves badmouthing people? Are you like the rat that always deceive others and act well in front of them, and behind them you don't? Watch your steps. One day you'll end up like the rat. And I hope you learned something from today's episode. Kids, thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you next time on Reading with Joan. Remember, don't badmouth, don't be greedy, and be sincere with your friendships. And we'll see you next time on Reading with Joan. Bye.